It's another day, and that must of course mean another fantastic example of a Jaguar XF in our collection. In fact, that's precisely what it means, because this particular Polaris white example with a combination of charcoal and suede interior is a 2015 shape. So for the aficionados of the XF, you will of course know that's the facelift generation with the LED day-running updated front end, but being 2015, it's actually one of the latest examples of this very, very popular shape before the car was completely restyled. As always though, the key thing here that makes these cars so desirable is the sheer value for money, the amount of car that you get for the price, a price which is around a quarter or a fifth of what it was when new in some cases. This particular R Sport is now under £10,000, still of course has the option if you did want to make use of it of low deposit finance, but even at that fantastic price point, this car has only just covered 61,000 miles. That for reference is 23,000 less than the average for one of these on the market. And again, for those who are perhaps less familiar with the XF range, this has the most efficient engine you can get. So if you are planning to use it as a long distance commuter or a daily driver, this is a very, very solid choice to go for, being the 2.2 litre. What that means in practice is 200 horsepower, 330 foot-pounds of torque as well, so plenty of pulling power if you did want to use it as a holiday vehicle, for example, or a towing car. But, and here's the key, for a car with 200 horsepower in the executive category, this can still average up to 54 miles to the gallon. And on the motorway, of course, where it really does come into its own, as all XFs, and you could argue all Jaguars in general really do, as high as 63 miles to the gallon is possible. Of course, its yearly road tax benefits immensely from that efficiency, being £195 a year, which quite literally in some cases is about a quarter of the price of some other executive and luxury cars at the moment. In other words, not only is it a fantastic price, but you are immediately saving as soon as you drive away, and certainly saving every day on fuel costs as well. To go back to its condition though, we touched on of course the mileage. It does as well have a full service history behind it. It was most recently serviced in February, barely 3,000 miles ago, by a Jaguar specialist. In fact, speaking of Jaguar, its original keeper was actually Jaguar themselves, and it's only had 2 private owners ever since, and the most recent of those have had the car since 2021. It has not 2 but 3 keys intact with its original book pack as well, and of course it is very well equipped in addition to being very practical and efficient as well. It has parking sensors, of course reverse camera, heated seats, blind spot assist, touchscreen display with Bluetooth and auxiliary inputs, built-in navigation, cruise control. As we mentioned, these are fantastic motorway vehicles. Of course the facelift model means it has those day-running LEDs, in addition to xenon lights, even LED day runners on the rear as well, dual zone climate control. In other words, it goes down the list of everything which you would need from a practical daily family car, but also a lot of things which you would want from a practical daily family car. It's a vehicle like this which really goes to show that just because you want to make the practical, sensible choice doesn't mean you can't have a fantastic looking car that you really are proud of as well. If then you were already on the lookout for one of these XFs, well, as we've often said, these cars do not stick around for very long. In fact, quite often they're gone within 24 hours, so we would recommend reaching out sooner than later. And of course you can do so via the email address shown here on screen, or give us a call on 01749 871 155, or via our mobile number of 07482 267 439.